Lockheed and used by the United States Air Force and NASA, the Blackbird holds the speed record for a jet airplane at over 2,200 miles per hour. That's faster than a speeding bullet. Now grab the control stick in front of you with your right hand and put your left hand on the clear plastic above the left side panel. Under that panel is the throttle. The throttle is like a car's gas pedal. Okay, let's go flying. The Blackbird's cockpit is small, and with a high-altitude pressure suit and helmet on, it feels even smaller. There is no clear bubble-type canopy here. This speed demon has only a few small windows at the front of its streamlined nose. On the inside, check out all those dials and switches. On the right, framed in yellow, are the instruments for the Blackbird's 2 engines. The instruments on the left, framed in green, help the pilot monitor the systems that control airflow to the engines. Located in the center of the panel, framed in blue, are the main flight instruments. Look in the upper center. See the big dial with the blue number 1 on it? That's an attitude indicator. It helps the pilot know whether the plane is climbing or diving or banking to the left or right, even when it's dark or too cloudy to see the ground. Below the attitude indicator is a dial with the blue number 2. That's the horizontal situation indicator. It tells the pilot which way the plane is heading relative to magnetic north. A little bit up and to the left, you'll see a dial with a blue number 3 that says Mach on it, M-A-C-H. The speed of sound is designated Mach 1. This Mach meter shows the Blackbird's speed in relation to the speed of sound in Mach numbers. This plane often roared through the air at over Mach 3, or more than 3 times the speed of sound. On the opposite side of the blue number 4 on it is the altimeter. It shows the Blackbird's altitude. Besides being fast, this plane holds the record for level flight at the highest altitude, over 85,000 feet, or more than 16 miles above the Earth. All right, Speedy, we'd better let another Blackbird pilot have a look. Thanks for flying.
The gentleman just came in and says, "Man, these things have a lot of leg room." Yeah. This is this is the front half of a 737. Look at that, folks. Look at the windows. 2 seats on either side. Look at the aisle. This was flying, folks. This is when flying was fun. Ah, yes. Look at how wide the seats are. Oh my goodness gracious. Keep walking down to the cockpit here. Quick story. Hold on. Quick story. Actually, this area here was filled up. You know, they had the galley and everything. I don't remember the cockpit being this big. But I was coming back from an interview trip out to Goldstone, California. And I wonder if our light will work. Hold on here. Nah, it didn't work. But anyway, this has got glass, of course, but I was standing right here, and it was a Frontier Airlines 737 at Denver going to Rapid City, and it was the same one that came from Las Vegas. So I just stayed on the plane, and as the pilots were going through their checklists, I was chatting with them. As much as you could, you know. I'm sure they weren't listening to everything I had to say, because they were busy.
Please be seated. The program will begin shortly.
But can you imagine? That was back in the early 70s. Standing at the cockpit door, chatting with the pilots of 737. Yep. Not anymore, folks. And same way with the cabin room. I mean, this is a two-engine small jet. It's probably Boeing probably built more 737s than they ever built. It's very popular, but I'm sure today they put in extra seats.
I can sense it.
Citation 31 Alpha Delta Boeing Tower, full short runway 13 right.
If you can see him or not, but here he comes. There he is.
That was very hard to do. One might say to them, well, you might as well just try to fly. But the Wrights thought about the problem differently. For years they had observed birds in flight. They were nature lovers as well as interested in aeronautics, and one time Uncle Orv said that he could not see anything about a bird that couldn't be built on a larger scale and used by man. Well, with the support of their family, the Wright brothers decided to pursue their ideas. In his late teens, Uncle Will was playing ice hockey with some friends and was injured. Unfortunately, this injury took him many years to recover from. Up until that point, Uncle Will had ideas of going to Yale, and he actually considered a teaching career. Coincidentally, during the same time, his mother became more and more ill with tuberculosis, and Uncle Will spent many hours at her bedside. While he sat there, he went through every book in the Bishop Wright's library. He studied everything from classics to encyclopedias, research manuals, anything he could get his hands on. By the time he emerged from his mother's bedside, he felt that he had given himself a very good education.
Wright, who was a minister with the United Brethren Church, lived in Indiana with his wife Susan and their sons Rushlin and Lauren and Wilbur. In 1869, he moved to Dayton, Ohio when he became editor of the Religious Telescope, which was the newspaper for his church. And they settled in their house on Hawthorne Street.
He sketched his ideas for completely eliminating the tail and designed the N1M, Northrop mock-up number 1.
A plane of unusual interest is demonstrated at Rosamond Dry Lake in the Mojave Desert. It is the latest model of the Northrop Flying Wing. Developed from designs originated by Mr. Northrop in 1923, this bat-like plane is devised to use all its service for useful lift. The elimination of non-lift elements such as tail and fuselage is what does the trick. The Northrop Corporation estimates that general application of this principle would result in speed increase up to 100 miles an hour with no extra power. And it is thought that this design will make construction 30 to 40% cheaper. It may revolutionize.
To prove the concept, he began with a 1/3 scale version, the N9M. B-35 was an impressive airplane. Able to lift an amazing 140% of its weight and usable payload, unmatched until the debut of the 747 20 years later. Jack also saw his wing as an airliner.
Now a preview of the flying wing transport of tomorrow. The midsection provides ample room for 80 passengers. Spaciousness keynotes the luxurious an unimpaired view of the Earth unrolling thousands of feet below. Coast-to-coast flights in 4 hours may not be too far away. The dorsal tip of the plane provides an excellent vantage point to see the world go by. Snug as bugs in their magic carpet, air travelers can look down on mere Earthlings as the double quartet of mighty turbojets whistle them through space. The sleek Air Leviathan carries more cargo farther, faster, and with less fuel than any comparable plane. And the bar will raise the spirits of those who don't feel high enough in the stratosphere. The flying wing has the stability of a fine club. The public quickly accepts all the miracles that science provides. Even skyliners like this will become commonplace. But the giant flying wing is more than a super streamlined airplane. It is the fulfillment of scientific vision and symbolizes the practical dreams of science for our world of tomorrow.
The wings were converted to the newly developed jet engine at miles per hour. They could easily outdistance enemy fighters and even outmaneuver them.
27. Actually, next weekend, the Miramar should out of San Diego. Yeah. Takes place. Right, it's like a quarter mile.
I bet you're wondering if I'm here. I'm here. This is the way they used to do things. It's all computerized today. I don't know if they still use wind tunnels. One year after I was born. Yeah. Time flies when you're having fun. I heard somebody say. B-47's retired, but I'm just tired. Wanting to go home. Ooh, that's a pretty steep bank. Barrel roll. What the heck that is? Mount Rainier. Boeing always uses Mount Rainier as a backdrop. This had crosswind capability too. In other words, the wheels could cock, unlike an ordinary plane. In other words, they could crab into the wind, which would keep the plane going. The nose would be not pointed on the runway, but the plane, the momentum of the vector of momentum of the plane would be going straight down the runway. If the wheels were lined up with the fuselage, that would present a problem, wouldn't it? But they turned the so they swiveled. Pretty neat. Us old dumb pilots, we had to do it the hard way, by slipping, crabbing, just like you've seen, crabbing, and then at the last minute you slip. You turn the upwind wing, or you roll into the upwind, or lower the upwind wing. Kick the nose straight with opposite rudder, and land on one wheel sometimes, but it's safe. The B-17 was also built by Boeing. Uh-oh. This is where the fun starts. One of my late cousins used to be a bombardier. Well, actually, it was toggle-leer, because they only used in a squadron like these one bombardier, and everybody would bomb on him. When he bombed, everybody would let go. So he didn't have to use the Norden bomb sight; just flipped a switch. They call him a toggle-leer. He said they took the 3 smartest guys in the class. Okay. Can you guess what the smartest guy, most intelligent guy became? The most intelligent guy they assigned is the navigator. The second most intelligent guy they assigned is the bombardier. And the third most intelligent guy they assigned as the pilot. Here you go, Cal. How'd you like one of these babes? We're talking 4 engines. Of course, those were the famous Pan Am flying boats that Boeing built, called the Pan Am Clippers. In those days, it was easy to do transcontinental. air travel with flying boats because a lot of the countries didn't have decent airports. So much for the boats.